Nafeez Ahmed's book, The War on Freedom, is one of the most detailed investigations of 9/11.
Standard operating procedures dictate that as soon as a plane flies off course, the FAA will contact the plane and try to ask them what is going on. If there is a problem or if they cannot establish radio contact, then immediately the FAA will contact the Pentagon, who will, within a matter of minutes, a maximum of 10 minutes normally, will scramble fighter jets to intercept the civilian plane and to analyze the situation and see what is going on.
In his book, Nafeez documents a timeline of September 11th, showing how the attack should have been prevented, intercepted, or terminated. In the case of American Airlines Flight 77, which departed Dulles and was crashed into the Pentagon, the FAA lost contact at 8:50 a.m. However, fighters were not scrambled until 9:24 a.m., a delay of over 30 minutes.
Now, this sort of direct violation of standard operating procedures is inconceivable without some kind of high-level government approval. If we try to explain it by using the incompetence theory, it doesn't make sense. For example, if it was incompetence, we would expect that there would have been a normal inquiry into what went wrong. If we would have expected that there would be some kind of reprimands, that certain officials would be downgraded, or they would lose their jobs, or something would have happened to correct the situation. But we find that there has been no such reprimands at all.
Unanswered question number 4. How did the administration respond to the failures of the military and intelligence agencies on 9/11? David McMichael is an ex-CIA analyst and former editor of Unclassified, the magazine of the Association of National Security Alumni.
Contrary to the situation in countries with parliamentary governments, where the responsible cabinet officer following a disaster of any sort is expected to, and almost always does, resign or go fall on his sword or something like that. In the United States, this simply doesn't happen. That's not our tradition.
Despite the breakdown under his acting leadership on September 11th, General Richard B. Myers was promoted to chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest military post in the country.
The worse the failure of intelligence, the more the intelligence system gets rewarded in terms of greater budgets and more personnel, on the grounds, of course, that they failed because they didn't have the resources. Well, that's often done in the military side as well. A sufficient military failure will usually bring on demands not so much for the sacking of the generals who participated in the failure, but in increasing their budget so that arguably it won't happen again.
In his 2003 budget, President Bush proposed an allocation of $396 billion for national defense, an increase of $48 billion over 2002, the largest single increase in military spending since the height of the Vietnam War. Unanswered question number 5. What ties, if any, did the U.S. government and intelligence agencies have with the terrorists or their supporters?